The story of Tesla is a story of defying expectations. It's a story of a small startup that dared to challenge the giants of the automotive world. Many people think the story of Tesla begins with Elon Musk. But the real story starts with two engineers who had a radical idea. This is the story of how Tesla was born, how it almost died, and how it changed the world. In 2003, the idea of a successful electric car company seemed like a fantasy. The automotive landscape was a graveyard of failed electric vehicle projects. General Motors had famously and controversially crushed its own electric car, the EV1, just a few years prior. The message from the big automakers was clear. Electric cars were not commercially viable. They were slow, had limited range, and were seen as little more than glorified golf carts. The industry had given up on the electric dream. But where others saw a dead end, two men, Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning, saw a massive opportunity. They saw a world increasingly dependent on foreign oil, a planet facing a looming climate crisis, and a car industry that had grown complacent and resistant to change. They believed electric cars were the future. They just needed to prove it to the world. Eberhard and Tarpenning were not your typical car guys. They were Silicon Valley tech entrepreneurs. They had just sold their e-reader company, Nuvo Media, for a handsome sum of $187 million. They were looking for their next big challenge, their next big idea that could make a real impact. Eberhard, a lifelong car enthusiast, was personally frustrated. He wanted a high-performance sports car, but he was also environmentally conscious. He couldn't find a car that satisfied both desires. The cars that were fast were not efficient, and the cars that were efficient were not fast. So, he decided to build it himself. He and Tarpenning founded Tesla Motors on July 1st, 2003. The name was a fitting tribute to the brilliant and often overlooked inventor Nikola Tesla, the father of the AC electrical system that would power their cars. Their vision was simple in concept, but revolutionary in its implications. They would not build another slow, boring, and practical electric car. They would build a car that was faster, cooler, and more exciting than any gasoline-powered car on the road. They would start with a high-performance premium electric sports car. This first car, the Roadster, would shatter the deeply ingrained myth that electric cars were just glorified golf carts. It would prove that electric cars could be objects of desire, cars that people would want to own not just because they were good for the environment, but because they were amazing machines. The plan, often referred to as the secret master plan, was to use the profits from this expensive low-volume sports car to fund the development of a more affordable, high-volume sedan. And the profits from that sedan would then be used to create an even more affordable mass-market car. It was a top-down strategy, a stark contrast to the bottom-up approach of the traditional auto industry. To build their dream car, they needed money. A lot of money. They had some of their own from the sale of their previous company, but building a car company from scratch requires a staggering amount of capital. In 2004, they met a young, ambitious, and already very wealthy entrepreneur named Elon Musk. Musk had recently made his fortune from the sale of his company, PayPal, to eBay. He was on the hunt for his next big bet, his next world-changing idea. He was captivated by Eberhard and Tarpenning's audacious vision. He saw the potential for electric cars to revolutionize the transportation industry and help wean the world off of fossil fuels. He invested $6.5 million of his own money into the fledgling company and became the chairman of Tesla's board of directors. But Musk was not just a passive investor. He took an active and hands-on role in the company from the very beginning, especially in the design and engineering of the first car, the Roadster. He insisted on a carbon fiber body for the car and was deeply involved in its styling. His investment and his growing reputation in Silicon Valley were crucial in attracting other investors. Soon, Tesla had raised over $100 million from some of the biggest names in tech, including the founders of Google, Larry Page, and Sergey Brin. The Roadster was a true feat of engineering. To save time and money, Tesla licensed some technology from a small electric car company called AC Propulsion and partnered with the British sports car maker Lotus to use the chassis of their lightweight Elise sports car. This clever move saved them the massive cost and complexity of designing and building a car from the ground up. The real innovation, the heart of the Roadster, was the battery pack. Instead of using large custom-made battery cells, Tesla used thousands of small commodity lithium-ion battery cells, the same kind that were used in laptops. This was a radical and controversial idea at the time. Many experts believed it was too dangerous and too complex. But Tesla's engineers developed a sophisticated battery management system to control the thousands of cells. And the result was a battery pack that gave the Roadster a range and performance that was simply unheard of for an electric car. It could travel over 200 miles on a single charge and could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds. It was a true sports car, and it was electric. The Roadster started winning awards, including the Global Green 2006 Product Design Award, presented by Mikhail Gorbachev. But building a car is hard. Building a new kind of car from a new kind of company is even harder. The development of the Roadster was plagued by delays, technical challenges, and massive cost overruns. The initial target price of the car kept creeping up. Tensions grew within the company. Musk, as the primary investor and chairman of the board, began to exert more and more control. He clashed with Eberhard over the direction of the company and the management of the Roadster program. In 2007, the board, led by Musk, made the difficult decision to remove Eberhard from his role as CEO. A year later, both Eberhard and Tarpenning, the original founders of the company, had left. The dream was starting to look like a nightmare. A lawsuit was later filed by Eberhard against Musk for libel and slander, though the suit was eventually settled out of court. As part of the settlement, 5 individuals were officially recognized as co-founders of Tesla: Eberhard, Tarpenning, Musk, J.B. Straubel, and Ian Wright. Then came the 2008 global financial crisis. The entire global economy was on the brink of collapse. The auto industry was hit particularly hard. For a small, cash-burning startup like Tesla, it was a death sentence. The company was burning through cash at an alarming rate. They were just weeks, some say days, away from bankruptcy. Musk, who had taken over as CEO, was desperate. He put all of his remaining personal fortune from the PayPal sale into the company, but it was still not enough. He needed more money from Tesla's investors to keep the company alive. One major investor, however, stood in his way. This investor had lost faith in Tesla's ability to build its own cars. He wanted Tesla to give up on its dream and pivot to become a parts supplier for the big established automakers. Musk vehemently refused. He believed that would be the end of Tesla's mission. The standoff came to a dramatic head on Christmas Eve of 2008. With the company just hours away from running out of money, Musk made a last-ditch effort to save the company. He restructured the financing deal, taking on more debt himself to get the other investors to agree. In the final hours of Christmas Eve, the investors finally agreed. Musk had saved Tesla from certain bankruptcy. He later admitted that he broke down in tears after the deal was done. It was a Christmas miracle. With the company saved from the brink of death, Tesla was finally able to start delivering the Roadster to its first customers. The car was a critical success. It was praised for its stunning performance and for proving that electric cars could be fast, fun, and desirable. But the Roadster was just the first step in the master plan. The real test was whether Tesla could build a car for the mass market. In 2012, Tesla launched the Model S. The Model S was a game changer. It was a beautiful, high-performance luxury sedan that could travel over 200 miles on a single charge. It had a giant 17-inch touchscreen display that controlled everything in the car, a feature that was years ahead of its time. It could be updated over the air with new features and improvements, just like a smartphone. It was unlike any car the world had ever seen. The Model S won numerous awards, including Motor Trend's prestigious Car of the Year award. It showed the world that an electric car could be the best car in the world. The success of the Model S was a huge victory for Tesla, but it also brought a whole new set of challenges. The company was still losing a lot of money. They needed to scale up production to become profitable. This led to what Musk famously called production hell. The company struggled to build the Model 3, its first affordable mass-market car. The factory in Fremont, California was in chaos. The highly automated production line, which Musk had dubbed the Alien Dreadnought, was not working as planned. The robots were not able to perform the tasks that were expected of them. The production line was constantly breaking down. Musk himself slept on the factory floor for weeks, working 120-hour weeks trying to personally fix the production problems. The company was facing a severe bottleneck with the battery module assembly at its gigafactory in Nevada. The automation, which had been outsourced to a supplier, had failed. Tesla engineers had to rewrite the software from scratch in a matter of weeks. Once again, Tesla was on the brink of collapse. The company was burning through cash at an alarming rate. Many experts and analysts on Wall Street predicted that Tesla would finally go bankrupt. The media was filled with stories of production problems, quality control issues, and worker complaints. In June of 2018, it was reported that over 85% of Model 3s needed some level of rework before they could be delivered to customers. But once again, Musk and his dedicated team pulled through. They ripped out the complex conveyor systems, they simplified the production process, they brought in more human workers to do the tasks that the robots could not. They managed to ramp up production of the Model 3. The car was a huge success. It became the best-selling electric car in the world. And in 2019, after years of losses, Tesla finally achieved a full year of profitability. It was a major turning point for the company. The company had survived its second near-death experience. Today, Tesla is the most valuable car company in the world by a wide margin. Its market capitalization has soared to over $1 trillion, making it one of the most valuable companies in any industry. It has expanded its vehicle lineup to include the Model X SUV with its iconic Falcon wing doors, the Model Y crossover, which has become the best-selling car of any kind in the world, the futuristic and controversial Cybertruck, and the all-electric semi-truck. It has built massive gigafactories in Nevada, New York, Texas, China, and Germany to produce batteries and cars at a massive scale. These gigafactories are not just car factories. They are giant machines that are constantly being improved and optimized. Tesla has also created a global network of superchargers, a fast-charging network that makes it easy and convenient for Tesla owners to travel long distances. This network is a huge competitive advantage for Tesla, and the company is now opening it up to other electric vehicle manufacturers, further accelerating the transition to sustainable energy. Tesla is also a leader in artificial intelligence and robotics. The company is developing its own AI chips and software for its full self-driving system, which aims to make its cars fully autonomous. And it is even developing a humanoid robot called Optimus that could one day work in its factories and even in our homes. The story of Tesla is a story of perseverance, of resilience, of a relentless pursuit of a vision. It's a story of a company that refused to die, that refused to give up, even when the odds were stacked against it. It's a story of a team of brilliant and dedicated people who believed in a better, more sustainable future. The road was not easy. There were many moments when it seemed like the dream was over, but they never gave up. They kept pushing, they kept innovating, and they kept believing. And in the end, they didn't just build a car company. They changed the world. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about the financial mindset and wealth-building strategies that can help you achieve your own dreams, please consider subscribing to Frankie Finance. Give this video a like, share it with a friend who needs to hear the story, and leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you.